Okay, ready to dive into Donald Miller's Marketing Made Simple.
Let's do it.
So much buzz around this one. And look, we've got all your source materials right here.
Awesome.
Think we can unlock the secrets to like a killer sales funnel.
I think so. Yeah.
What really struck me was how Miller connects marketing to relationships.
Right.
Like it just clicks, right? People buy from people they trust, those they know.
Absolutely. Miller really nails that, the whole know, and trust factor.
But how do you build that trust through marketing? You
Mm.
can't invite every potential customer to dinner, right?
Exactly. Haha.
So what's the secret sauce here?
Well, that's where the sales funnel comes in.
This funnel thing, break it down for us.
Okay, so Miller divides it into these three stages: curiosity,
Okay.
enlightenment, and then commitment.
I like it already.
Each stage kind of mirrors how relationships actually form, that first spark of interest.
Right.
Then you learn more, go deeper, and finally, you're ready to commit.
Okay, I'm with you. So stage one is curiosity. It's that initial thing that grabs your attention, right? What's Miller's take on that?
He's all about piquing that interest without overwhelming the customer.
Okay.
He uses this great audio system example. Imagine shopping for one, right? You walk in, and there are two options:
Okay.
a sleek, minimal speaker,
Got it.
and then this massive system with all the bells and whistles.
Oh, I know the type.
Which one are you drawn to?
Probably the big one.
Yeah,
Even if I don't get all the tech stuff, it just screams high quality.
exactly.
Like, this thing could change my life, even if I don't know how yet.
Exactly. Miller argues that our survival instincts can get triggered.
Oh, wow.
It's like we're wired to be curious about things that signal potential, even subconsciously.
That's so interesting.
Like, think about the book's title itself, Marketing Made Simple.
Right?
The design, that promise of simplicity, it plays into this desire for easy solutions, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
So it's not just showing off features. It's about tapping into deeper stuff.
Yes. Desires, anxieties, those underlying things that make people tick.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then the question is, how do you translate that into actual marketing?
Yeah, good point.
That's where stage 2, enlightenment, comes in.
Okay, tell me more.
This is where you build trust by explaining how your product solves the customer's problem.
Got it.
Remember the audio system. What if the salesperson explained how those big speakers enhance the sound, make it richer?
Okay, yeah. Suddenly it's not just, hey, we have the best speakers.
Right.
It's about explaining why those features matter.
Exactly. It's the why behind the what.
Okay, that's clear. But wouldn't that require the customer to already have some technical knowledge?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Clarity is key. Miller stresses ditching the jargon and connecting your solution to the listener's pain points.
So, no tech overload.
Right.
It's about highlighting the benefits they'll actually experience, like deeper immersion in their music or movies.
Exactly.
Okay, this is all making sense now? But even if you've got their interest, explain everything clearly. How do you actually seal the deal? Get them to buy.
That brings us to the final stage. Commitment.
A big moment.
This one can be tricky because people associate asking for the sale with being pushy,
It's like that awkward first date moment. Do you go for the kiss goodnight or not?
that. Exactly. But Miller argues that asking for the sale is actually honest, even respectful. If you've built trust, shown the value,
Right.
it's natural to guide the customer to the next step.
So it's not a hard sell, more like a gentle nudge.
Right.
But how do you avoid being too pushy, especially if you're still not sure?
That's where Miller's 8 touch points idea comes in.
8. That seems like a lot.
He suggests it takes multiple interactions with your brand, website, social media, emails, you name it.
Okay, so you're not hitting them with the same message 8 times.
Right, exactly. It's about strategically guiding them through that sales funnel with different content.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But how do we actually put this into practice? Does Miller give any specific strategies?
Absolutely. He's got this thing called the Marketing Made Simple checklist.
Ooh, a checklist. I love checklists.
It's a practical guide to crafting a marketing strategy that works.
Sign me up. What's on this magical list?
Well, first up is defining your one-liner, a statement that captures your brand and its value.
Okay, a one-liner, got it.
Then you move on to wireframing your website.
Wait, wireframing, is that like for website design experts only?
Not really. It's basically sketching out your website's blueprint before you build it. It's about planning the layout, the content, the flow, making it user-friendly, and guiding the customer.
Ah, So it's like creating a roadmap for your website visitors,
Exactly.
leading them to their destination, whether it's buying something, signing up, or just learning more.
That's the idea.
What else is on this checklist?
Next, Miller dives into lead generators, those valuable pieces of content that get people to give you their contact info.
Lead generators, like free ebooks, webinars, those kinds of things.
Exactly. But it's not just about giving stuff away for free.
Okay, what makes them effective, though?
It's got to provide real value, address the audience's pain points, and pique their curiosity.
Got it.
One example he gives is the pitfall list, highlighting common mistakes people make.
Oh, like 5 money mistakes to avoid when buying a house, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It taps into that fear of messing up while positioning you as the expert.
I see.
It's like offering a solution before they even realize they have a problem.
So clever. Then, once you got those email addresses, what's next?
That's where crafting those compelling email campaigns comes in.
Email marketing, the classic, right?
But how do you stand out in a crowded inbox?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Miller's all about clear, concise writing, conversational tone.
Okay.
Short words, short sentences, short paragraphs, like you're emailing a friend, not writing a corporate memo.
That makes sense. So it's personal, not a mass broadcast.
Yes. You want that connection.
But there's got to be more to it than just keeping it short, right?
Of course. Segmenting your audience, tailoring your messages to their needs.
Okay, yeah.
Miller provides frameworks for different email types like problem solution, testimonials.
I've got it.
Those kinds of things.
Okay, so we've got the one-liner, the website, wireframe, lead generators, and email campaigns. Anything else on this checklist we should know about?
Miller really emphasizes testing and refining your marketing.
Okay, so it's not just set it and forget it.
Right. Use data and analytics to track progress, make adjustments.
That makes sense, but not everyone's a data whiz,
True. He recommends finding a marketing guide, a consultant, a coach, even a helpful book.
Like a marketing Sherpa.
Exactly. Having someone who's been there can save you so much hassle.
Makes sense. But it's still easy to get overwhelmed with all the moving parts.
Right.
How do we stay focused?
Miller says set clear marketing goals and align everything you do to reach them.
So whether it's brand awareness, leads, sales, whatever you need to target.
He calls it clarity of destination.
Ooh, clarity of destination.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But how do you define those goals in a measurable way?
He suggests using the SMART framework:
Smart.
specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound.
Okay.
Instead of, I want to grow my business,
Yeah.
you'd say, I want to increase website traffic by 20% this quarter.
Okay, much clearer. But even with a clear goal, marketing can still feel like a black box.
Right.
Is there a way to make it less intimidating?
One powerful takeaway is the emphasis on storytelling.
Stories.
Like fairy tales.
Uh-huh. Not quite.
Yeah.
It's about crafting a narrative that resonates with your audience.
So instead of we sell the best widgets, it's more like
Right.
our widgets empower you to
Exactly.
achieve your dreams. Something like that.
Yes. It's about tapping into their aspirational identity.
Aspirational identity. I love that. Can you give us a real-world example?
Sure. Imagine you're selling fitness equipment.
Okay.
Instead of just specs, your campaign tells a story of transformation empowerment. So you're selling a vision of a healthier, more confident self.
Precisely. It's not just a treadmill, it's a journey.
I love it. It's like, join us, become the hero of your own story.
Exactly. But then the question is, how do you keep that story consistent across everything?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Miller introduces brand archetypes, like the hero, the rebel, the caregiver.
Archetypes, like
Yeah.
from those ancient myths.
He says brands should align with one or two to create a consistent identity.
Okay, so if your brand is all about innovation, you might be the rebel.
Exactly. It's about giving your brand a personality.
Interesting. But wouldn't that limit your creativity?
Not at all. It's a framework, a starting point.
I see.
It informs your decisions, from copywriting to visuals.
Okay, so we've got our story, archetype, checklist. What's next?
He suggests creating a customer journey map.
A map. Tell me more.
It's like visualizing the customer's steps from awareness to becoming a loyal fan.
Wow, that sounds pretty in-depth.
It helps you spot pain points, find ways to improve their experience.
So putting yourself in their shoes, walking the walk.
Exactly. Anticipate their needs, exceed their expectations.
It's not just sales. It's about creating a truly enjoyable experience.
Yes.
I'm sensing a theme here. It's all about the customer, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's not just tactics. It's about genuine connections.
Okay.
Understanding their needs, their desires, their aspirations.
It's about treating them like human beings.
Exactly. And that brings us to a crucial principle. Simplicity.
Simplicity.
In marketing,
Yeah.
it's about cutting through the noise, the jargon,
Okay.
focusing on what matters,
Yeah.
providing value.
So it's not about impressing them with fancy stuff.
Right. It's about making it easy for them to understand, engage, take action.
Speak their language, meet them where they are.
That's it.
Wow, this has been so insightful.
Good.
We've learned so much storytelling, customer journeys, finding a guide, the power of simplicity.
We've only scratched the surface, but hopefully it's inspired you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, what about branding? Such a buzzword, but what does it actually mean?
You're right. Branding is often misunderstood. It's more than just a logo or a tagline.
So it's not just what you say about yourself.
Right. It's the whole perception people have of your company.
Okay.
It's the emotions they associate with your company, their experience with your products.
Got it.
It's everything.
So how do you build a strong brand then?
Yeah.
Is it just time and consistent messaging?
It's more than that. It's about your unique value proposition, your target audience, your brand voice, your visual identity, crafting a consistent experience that resonates.
So branding is about more than just looking good. It's about substance.
Exactly.
But in a crowded market, how do you make your brand stand out?
That's where differentiation comes in. What makes you unique? What's your value?
So finding your niche, your special sauce.
Exactly. Knowing your strengths, your values, your audience, and crafting a message that hits home.
Okay, starting to get the big picture, but it still feels a bit abstract.
Sure.
Any practical tips?
Focus on creating valuable content, educate, entertain, inspire your audience.
So it's not just promoting your stuff, it's about offering something valuable.
Exactly. Build trust. Establish yourself as a thought leader.
Okay, content is key, but what about visuals? Logo, website, social media, all that.
Your visual identity is crucial. It's a face of your company,
Got it.
and it needs to be aligned with your message and values.
So if you're all about innovation, your visuals should reflect that.
Precisely. Logo, colors, typography, imagery, it all needs to work together.
Wow, so branding really is about consistency across the board.
It is.
From your website to customer service, that's a lot of pressure.
It's an ongoing process.
But the payoff can be huge, right?
Huge.
Increased loyalty, higher sales, the whole package.
Absolutely. People trust your brand, they choose you.
Makes sense. But isn't branding more for big companies with big budgets?
Not at all. Even small businesses can benefit.
Okay.
It's about defining your value, being consistent, delivering on your promises.
So be true to yourself, know your audience, create a resonant experience.
Exactly. Make it meaningful.
This has been so eye-opening. Branding really is a whole world.
It is.
But before we move on, I want to talk about brand storytelling.
Good idea.
We touched on it, but it deserves a deeper look.
Absolutely. It's powerful stuff connecting with your audience on that emotional level.
So it's about sharing your origin story.
Yes. Your mission, your values, the why behind the what.
Okay.
It's about making them feel like they're part of something bigger.
So not just we make the best shoes, but
Right.
our shoes empower you to reach your potential or something.
Exactly. It's a story, a dream, a feeling. You're not just selling a product.
I see it.
You're selling an experience.
That's the magic of storytelling. But how do you actually craft a good brand story?
Well, there's no one-size-fits-all formula,
Okay.
but it should be authentic, relatable, engaging, and true to your values.
So no making stuff up.
Exactly. People can spot a fake.
Makes sense.
It needs to be genuine.
Okay, so authenticity is key, but where do you share these stories? Website? Social media?
Everywhere. Weave it into everything you do.
Okay.
Website copy, social media posts, emails.
So it's a constant thread.
Exactly.
It's not just a one-time thing.
Right. Your brand story should be everywhere. Your culture, your customer service, your content.
This is so insightful. A well-crafted story can really make a difference.
It can.
It's not just about standing out, it's about that deeper connection.
Exactly. When you have that, you have something special.
Okay, I think we've covered branding pretty thoroughly.
I think so.
But before we move on,
Yeah.
I'm still a little fuzzy on the relationship between branding and marketing.
Good question.
Are they the same thing? Two sides of the same coin.
They're often used interchangeably, but they're distinct concepts.
Okay, help me out here.
Think of branding as the foundation of a house
Okay.
and marketing as the tools you use to build it.
Ah, I like that.
Branding is who you are, what you stand for.
Okay.
Marketing is how you communicate that to the world.
So branding is the what, marketing is the how.
But how do they actually work together?
Okay, imagine you're launching organic skincare products.
Okay.
Your branding might focus on natural ingredients, sustainability.
Right.
Your marketing might involve a website telling your story, social media ads targeting eco-conscious consumers.
So branding sets the stage, marketing brings in the audience.
Exactly. You need both for a successful business.
Wow. That's so clear now.
Sure.
But with digital marketing changing so fast, how do we keep up?
It's true, it's constantly evolving.
Any advice for navigating that?
Some things remain constant, creating valuable content, building relationships, staying adaptable.
So don't chase every trend. Stay true to your brand and be open to new opportunities.
Exactly. It's about balance, consistency, and innovation.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Good.
But with so many platforms, how do you choose where to focus?
Start with your audience. Where do they hang out online? What do they consume?
So be where your audience is, not just everywhere.
Exactly. Quality over quantity. A strong presence on a few key platforms.
This has been so valuable. Feeling much more confident about navigating the digital world now.
Glad to hear it.
Okay, I think we've covered branding and digital marketing pretty well.
I think so, yeah.
But before we move on, I want to touch on something important.
Okay, what's that?
The role of ethics in marketing.
Good point.
It's easy to get caught up in the competition and forget about what's right.
It's true.
So how do we stay ethical? Any guidelines?
Transparency is key. Be honest with your customers.
Okay, no hidden fees, no misleading claims.
Exactly. Transparency builds trust, which is crucial.
Right, trust is everything. What else?
Respect their privacy. Don't spam them.
Okay,
Be mindful of their time and attention,
got it.
and always get consent before using their information.
So treat them how we want to be treated, the golden rule.
Exactly. Put the customer first.
This is so important. I feel empowered to make ethical choices now.
Good.
It's not just about avoiding bad stuff.
Right.
It's about building a business you can be proud of. Okay, we've talked about so much marketing, branding, the digital landscape, ethics.
It's been quite a deep dive.
But before we wrap up, there's one last piece.
Okay. What's that?
The role of creativity in marketing.
Ah, yes. Creativity is so often overlooked,
Right.
but it's crucial to stand out.
So how do we cultivate that creativity? Any exercises or techniques?
One thing is to expose yourself to new ideas, new experiences.
Okay, like what?
Read books, watch movies, travel, talk to different people, break out of your routine.
So expand your horizons.
Exactly. Creativity needs novelty, diversity.
Makes sense. But how do we translate inspiration into actual campaigns?
Brainstorming is a great tool.
Okay, how do you do that effectively?
Gather your team, throw out ideas, no judgment, just let them flow.
So create a safe space for wild ideas.
Exactly. You never know where the next big thing will come from.
I'm feeling inspired already. But it's not always about those big, flashy ideas, right?
Right.
Sometimes it's about small, innovative tweaks.
Exactly. Creativity is about finding new solutions, big or small.
Wow, this has been such an energizing conversation about creativity.
Good.
Okay, I think we've covered everything. Marketing, branding, the digital landscape, ethics, creativity.
Quite a journey.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, there's one final thing.
Oh.
Continuous learning and development in marketing.
Ah, yes. So important. The industry is constantly changing.
How do we keep up? Any specific resources you recommend?
Industry publications, conferences, thought leaders on social media,
Okay.
online courses, certifications, there's a ton out there.
So be proactive, seek out opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly. Make time for it, even if it's just an article a day.
But there's so much information. How do you filter it all?
Focus on what's relevant to you, your industry, your role.
Okay, be strategic.
Don't try to learn everything at once. Start with the basics.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly.
Wow. This conversation has been so inspiring. I feel ready to invest in my professional growth.
That's great.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, but I'm curious, as we wrap up, what's the one key takeaway you hope our listener will remember?
I think for me, it's that focus on the customer, really putting them first.
Yeah, like that's the core of it all, right?
It is. Everything we talked about, the
Right.
one-liner, the brand story, it all comes back to understanding your audience.
Their needs, their wants, what they dream of.
Exactly. It's not just seeing them as numbers, you know?
Right, they're real people.
Yeah.
Real people with real problems you can help with.
And when you genuinely care about that,
Mm-hmm.
when you want to create value for them,
Yeah.
it all just kind of falls into place.
So for someone just starting out, What's a practical first step to put that into action?
I'd say sit down and really picture your ideal customer.
Okay.
Who are they? What keeps them up at night? What do they want to achieve?
Get inside their heads.
Exactly. Once you get that,
Yeah.
you can start shaping your message, your strategy, everything.
That's such good advice.
Yeah.
And of course, they've got Marketing Made Simple to help them along the way.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a roadmap, a guidebook.
Totally. So to our listener, we say, go for it.
Yeah.
Market with confidence. Tell those stories. Stay curious, be ethical, and never stop learning.
And remember, the best marketing comes from real connections. So
Yeah.
go out there and build those relationships.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into Marketing Made Simple. Hope you guys got a ton out of it.
too.
Until next time, happy marketing.